Good day everyone, Trainer Maxim with you. Thank you very much for joining me for this quick fix series. Today we're going to learn how to walk. As always, before we start, I want to thank everyone for your support, your messages, your ideas, suggestions, watching. Thank you very much. Of course, your generosity, super thanks. And my support angels. Thank you everyone for your support. Thank you. I'm pretty sure you guys and girls know how to walk, of course, but there is, as always, a more efficient way to walk, to improve your technique of walking, to improve your perception in the first place. But before I tell you about that improvement, I want to conduct an experiment. Let's see who gets it right. So I'm going to stand like this, and you instruct me on how to make a first step, how to do that in general. Ready? And go. All right, I cannot hear you. So probably most of you would tell me, okay, Maxim, it's very easy. You just stand tall and you bring one leg a bit up and you place it forward in front of you. And let the body follow. That's great. That's how we see the walking. That's how we learned walking when we were kids. Unfortunately, that kind of walking places extra stress on everything in our body. What I mean by this, I call this walking fall and catch. When we think bring the leg forward, we go like this. You fall forward, you catch your body. You fall forward, you catch your body. In order to bring the leg forward, you're going to use a lot of lower back muscles. Lower back muscles are attached here at the bottom of the pelvis, and they attach themselves to the leg. So those are actually primary hip flexors, the lower back muscles. And when you instruct your brain to bring the leg forward, you use the lower back muscles, the hip flexors, to bring the leg forward, to bend the hip. One, and because you're kind of falling forward, you're creating the momentum which drags the body into the fall, collapse in the shoulders, collapse in the spine. And by extension, you're stretching the lower back muscles while collapsing forward. But the lower back muscles are actually trying to contract to bring your leg forward. But because of the momentum you created, you're leaning with the spine forward, stretching the lower back muscles. For that reason, when you walk slowly around the museums or hiking, you start accumulating the excessive tension in the lower back, the sometimes uncomfortable sensation of pain, and etc. And also you start feeling fatigue very fast in the spinal muscles, since in order to stay upright with this approach, every step you take, you have to correct your position with the muscles of the spine. So the spinal muscles would constantly maintain your torso in the upright position. That's very taxing for the spinal muscles. The other disadvantage you can notice that when I walk, I don't have a lot of, like this, I don't have a lot of space between the knee. They're essentially not moving past one another. It means I'm completely not using the muscles of the back of the legs, no glutes, no hamstrings, and you know how the glutes and the back muscles of the legs are important for the lower back health. And that's not efficient. That's not something we want to do. Also, this kind of walking will impact your posture, meaning that you will be always feeling slouched and collapsed forward. No wonder, because you're always falling forward and catching, falling forward and catching. And you might even try to fix your posture by keeping yourself more upright, keeping the shoulders more open. But for as long as you walk this way, for as long as you place your body in that mechanical position, for as long as you use that representation in the brain of walking, you will have to over-engage the muscles of the lower back and the shoulders in order to stay in the upright position. And that will further accumulate extra tension in the lower back muscles and the shoulders, and it will look robotic when you're always trying to maintain the shoulders squeezed or spine upright. It's not natural. So there is a more efficient way to walk, as always, of course, and I call that principle of walking push to propel. What it means. Instead of thinking that I'm taking my step forward by bringing the leg forward, I tell myself we do not bring the leg forward whatsoever, never actually. We're thinking one leg is pushing back to propel the body forward. So push to propel. See what's going to happen with this approach. If I keep telling my both legs, push to propel, push to propel, push to propel, then now my primary muscle executors of the walking, muscles of the back of the leg, the glutes, the hamstrings, the magnus adductors, those muscles are huge, and it takes a lot of efforts to fatigue those muscles versus the hip flexors. The hip flexors, the lower back muscles, they're tiny because they're actually limited by the distance from one vertebra to another, and when they get fatigued with ease, they start squeezing the nerves around since it's spine, and you feel pinch and pain or a lot of agony in the lower back. Versus these guys, they have nothing to do with the spine. They're attached pelvis legs here. They're very, very big. They have a lot of stamina. So even if you fatigue them, they're not going to give you any significant troubles, rather than just a need to rest. But in the first place, if you start thinking push back to propel using these guys. Now, the second advantage, not only do you use the muscles of the back of the legs, you also must use a lot of core to stay upright, because now by pushing yourself back, you actually create that force like on a motorcycle. When you suddenly move the motorcycle, it pushes you into this open position. And in order for the spine not to overarch, now you have to use the belt of your core muscles, which is fantastic, because the core muscles always underused with the fall and catch. They're always smooshed, so we're losing the tension in the core muscles while losing its tone. Core muscles are gone essentially, and we have to train them excessively to get them back. But with this movement, when you push in, the spine naturally, due to the physics, due to the mechanics of the movement, goes into this over opening. So you tighten in the core, keeping the core a little bit engaged, so that the rib cage is glued to the pelvis and your spine is supported this way. So two big advantages here. When you think push to propel, you start utilizing more of the back of the leg muscles, and also you start relying more on the support of the core. So these guys and these guys. And when you walk like this, you will have much more distance between the knees. 1, 2, 3, meaning that you're really using the glutes and this and this and the core. And also it will give you huge support for the posture, because now you don't have to fake that upright position. Now you're naturally pushing yourself back into the upright position, not using your muscles, but using the physics of the walking. So the spinal muscles will not have to work hard in order to maintain the body in the upright position, because the body is placed that way due to the physics of the movement, and you need only the core to support the spine. So you're sparing a lot of activities of the spinal muscles here that will give you better posture, naturally more open, not enforced open, by naturally neutral spine. That will make it easier for the shoulders to sit on top of the spine, not in front of the spine, because now with this approach, shoulders don't have that impetus of going forward due to the force you created by falling forward. So a lot of benefits of the push to propel walking versus fall and catch walking, better posture, and aesthetics. You look much better when you push to propel than fall to catch. When fall to catch, you can notice when people think bring my leg forward, they walk like this. They look down, the head down, everything is down, overusing the hip flexors, overusing the lower back muscles, spinal muscles, shoulders collapse, no posture. But when you switch to the push to propel, you start looking like an athlete without faking this position. Not that I'm pushing the chest out, not that I'm pushing the shoulders back. Nope. Those body parts are brought there by the physics of my walking. The forces now I'm creating are actually driving me into this position. The only challenge with this walking is to recondition your mind to perceive walking differently and retrain yourself to use the legs differently. Because it will be very easy to start walking with idea push to propel, but after the first step, the urge of bringing this leg, the very same leg, forward will be huge, and we need to fight it. So we need to keep in mind that when you pushed with the first leg back, 1, you're not continuing with the same leg. 1, you're not continuing with this leg forward, otherwise you will start relying on the hip flexors again. Hip flexors collapse. You have to tell yourself, watch it, 1, now this leg is pushing back, 1, and the momentum you create for the body by pushing this leg, 1, back, will bring the back leg passively forward. And that's another advantage. You spare the knee connective tissue, because if you use the fall and catch movement, see what's going to happen. I'm bringing the knee forward, so now my center of mass here, the knee is there. And on landing, I have yet to relocate my body, my center of mass, forward on top of the knee. 1. That will overload the knee. All the time, I will have to kind of force, I'm exaggerating, of course, a little bit, force my center of mass onto the knee. That might collapse the knee a little bit forward. But with this walk-in push to propel, 1, you passively bring in the body forward with the leg still relaxed. The knee is barely moving. And the knee and the pelvis are staying in one line, which is a huge help on landing, because now you're landing on the knee directly placed under the pelvis. So you're not stressing the knee by forcing the pelvis forward. That further spares the connective tissue of the knees, especially the ligaments on the sides. So have a look at this. Try walking in the following way. Push to propel, push back, 1, suppress the urge of bringing this leg forward, don't. All attention goes to this leg, and this leg pushes back. This one is relaxed, and because this guy is relaxed and the body is in motion created by this leg, by pushing this leg back, the body is in motion forward. The physics will create the force for this leg like a pendulum. This leg will naturally swing forward, 1, without a need of using the hip flexors. So you will spare the hip flexors, because you hear 1, it will be only natural to let the leg fly forward, sparing the hip flexors, sparing a lot of troubles. So that is the only complication of this method. You need to retrain your brain. For the first time, it will be feeling very awkward. It will be feeling that you're running, and you will be trying to emphasize it like in a robotic way. But try to relax. It should look no different, with just different thinking. Push to propel, push to propel, push to propel, push to propel. Same, push to propel, push to propel, push to propel, push to propel. And that's it. And you will dramatically improve your posture just by changing how you walk. You will dramatically improve the lower back health by changing how you walk, by starting using completely different mechanics of walking I've just described. Difficult to do, but I suggest that you, while walking around the vicinity, let's say you go for a hike, and you just choose maybe 1-2 minutes, and you focus, you zone out, you stop talking to your friend, and you think push to propel, push to propel, push to propel, and do this for 1 minute, and after continue walking, and do 3-5 sets like this during your walking activity. Otherwise, if you keep using the fall and catch approach, like think about this for 15,000 times per day. That's how much steps we might take. 10,000 steps, 15,000 steps. You will be overusing using the muscles of the lower back, the muscles of the spine, lower back, muscles of the spine. No core support, just muscle of the spine, muscles of the lower back, hip flexors, which are attached as well to the spine. So for 15,000 reps every day, you will fight this movement. Of course, the muscles of the lower back and the back muscles will be tight. And of course, you will decondition the muscles of the back of the legs. You will decondition the core. You will decondition the shoulders muscles in the back, which are holding our shoulders open. And once you switch to the push to propel, push to propel, push to propel for 15,000 times every day, you'll be using the muscles of the back of the legs, muscles of the core, muscles, and you will be sparing the muscles of the back and muscles of the shoulders, because now they don't have to push themselves back. Now the spine doesn't have to line itself up. The physics does it for you, just because of the different walking. So try this approach and let me know how it went. Share your thoughts about this. Go to the gym, maybe on the treadmill. However, on the treadmill it's tricky because treadmill moves for you. That's another, by the way, very important moment. The treadmill moves back for you, so it's extremely challenging to walk like this on the treadmill. But however, you still think when you're on the treadmill, try to push the tread of that meal back on your own, not just by, otherwise you're just placing the foot on the treadmill and the foot is being taken back by the treadmill for you. So you're not training these guys. And that's how the contemporary treadmills develop that habit of ours to move this way, forward. That's why everyone on the treadmill walks in this posture. So still try to fight the treadmills. Try to move the belt back on your own thinking, even if it's extremely easy. And of course it will be easy because there is an electric motor there. But in your mind, you're on the treadmill and you're pushing. It's me pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. That itself will help you maintain the posture more upright with the shoulders open. So keep that in mind when you are working on the treadmills. Okay, that is all for today. Sorry for a lot of talking. Apologies. Thank you for your patience. Go try and let me know how it went. Thank you. Trainer Maxim with you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye, everyone.